Welcome back to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 34. The conversation I want to get into today is about David Benavidez. Is he looking past David Lemieux to get to Caleb Plant? Let's get into the conversation.
Now neither one of us are scared of nobody.
Gotta fight everybody.
I know you want to fight me.
Yeah, of course I want to fight you.
You think I want to fight you?
Of course you want to fight me.
Absolutely. But it's the other things,
well, like,
they trying to build us up, right? I get that,
When he gets his IBF title, I'm going to take it from him. You know, every time he fights somebody, they say he don't hit hard. I put people in the hospital. That's what I do.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm his manager.
Absolutely.
That's his dad, too.
The contract. You know, we want to fight
Sweet
ass. Man, that would be a great fight.
Look, this is one of the greatest offensive boxers in all of boxing right now.
Respect.
But you also looking at one of the greatest defensive boxers.
Respect. Say that, man.
It says that he slapped your brother in the gym and you didn't do anything. Is that true?
Let me tell you something, okay? So he tried to sucker punch my brother. He hid behind his coach, and his coach got fucked up, and what did he do?
Justin Cameron?
Yeah, he got beat up. You can see it in the video.
Take your ass back over there.
What's up? You know what fucking beat your ass? You know what beat your ass?
Listen, you got a problem.
You got it too.
What would they have said? Oh, the Benavidez team jumped me, this and that. It would have been even worse than what happened. You know, so I knew my time was going to come. I knew I'm going to get Caleb Plant eventually. I would have fucked Caleb Plant up right there. We all would have fucked Caleb Plant up. Just like his coach got beat up, you go see the video. And then after the fact.
Do you think you get it though? Because he's barking up the CHARLO tree right now.
Like I said, these people don't want to fight me for a reason, man. I've been here, you know, I've been here for a long, long time already. I'm still, you know, top 3, top 2. Fighting for another interim belt, so I feel like that puts me in a better position too. I feel like if I don't get, for some reason, I don't get a CANELO fight after this one, I'm gonna have the interim belt. I would love to fight. Well, I need to win the interim belt first, and then I would love to fight Caleb Plant after that.
So this is my thoughts on if David Benavidez is looking past David Lemieux, which he's fighting for the WBC interim championship, which is a great fight and puts David Benavidez, which I think he's gonna win. Put him. It really puts him in a good spot. But the biggest fight, I think, you know, it is Caleb Plant. I think that both of them want to fight each other. As you can see in the clip, that you know they got, I guess, there's a little bit of history right there. They got into a little scuffle. You know, but it makes for, all of this stuff makes for good entertainment, especially when it comes to the sport of boxing. This is what the fans really need. I like it personally. You know, as long as everybody do what they got to do and stay safe and get to training camp, and a lot of these fights come to fruition. These are a lot of fights that fans been calling for quite some time. A lot of times, especially what Caleb Plant said, you really do have to build up certain fights to actually get the people behind it, because it is hard to put a ton of money behind certain fights. But David Lemieux is a pretty good fighter. He's like a B-level fighter. I think that David Benavidez will knock him out. I argue with anybody about that, man. David Benavidez is becoming one of my favorite fighters, young fighters. You know, that's in the 168-pound weight division. And you know, I think David Benavidez, like I said in another video, I think he is the new boogeyman. I think he's got. If anybody could beat CANELO, man, I think this is the guy to do it. I think that CHARLO got a big chance of doing it, but I think you know, the edge that I think that David Benavidez can have, he can actually, if the CHARLO fight actually takes place, CHARLO versus CANELO, if that fight takes place, he get to sit back and he get to watch the flaws in both fighters. Depends on who wins. So I think he has a little bit of advantage, taking a kind of, you know, a step up as far as getting a interim super middleweight championship belt, and it puts him in a good position to face the winner. But I think if you know, those guys, they have to kind of heal up and get past you know, protocol and stuff like that when you get into a fight. Depends on how bad you get hurt. A lot of times you get suspensions for 6 months. So I'm pretty sure David Benavidez don't want to sit on the shelf that long. Say that David Benavidez go in there and knock David Lemieux out in the first round. I say between the first round and the 5th round. You know, that's kind of like sparring, light sparring. So, you know, he'll be healthy to kind of get back in camp. And you know, he spent his weeks in camp and you know, kind of get the paperwork together. And I think they could put the fight on. I think if the fight was to happen, I should have looked it up, man. I should have did a little bit more homework. I was just kind of looking up what David Benavidez's next fight was, and it was David Lemieux. But I don't think the fight would be too difficult for him. But I think that he could probably do maybe kind of get training camp is like, what, 9 weeks? So he kind of get in there 9 weeks. They could probably fight probably during the summertime, probably maybe June. I say maybe July or August. I say August, you know, and then you say he fight in August, he could probably get the winner of JERMALL, CHARLO, and CANELO. But like I say, man, I think if CANELO win, I think he more than likely he'll move up. But if CHARLO win, I can see David Benavidez is kind of making a statement and saying, hey, look, let's get it on. You at 168 now, I'm at 168, so let's fight at 168. I think it's a great move by David Benavidez to actually get the fight with David Lemieux. Like I said, David Lemieux is probably B-level fighter. Most likely probably get knocked out. David Benavidez, he got some of the hardest hands in the sport today, especially in the super middleweight class. But, you know, I just think skill-wise, David Benavidez, he's going to be too much. He's got the age on his side. You know, the footwork, you know, just the pressure style, hands up, you know, guns ablazing. That's just his style, man. I love it. You know, he's got a more of a traditional Mexican style fight, but no real flash or nothing. But you know, when you're in a fight with David Benavidez, you know what you up against. But you know, back to the point, I really would love to see the fight with Caleb Plant take place, only because of the history. The history is there. I think the audience is there. I think it's an easy pay-per-view fight, and I think it's a fairly big fight. It's not one of the biggest fights that could be made, but it's a fairly big fight, and it could set up an even bigger fight with, like I say, the winner of JERMALL, CHARLO, or CANELO. Like I said, CANELO, that's gonna be a tough one for David Benavidez to get. I think he's gonna have to move up with him. I think that's the only way you're gonna catch CANELO. I think if CANELO actually get a win, you know, I can kind of see him moving up first. I don't really see him sticking around at 168. He's probably gonna feel like he don't have anything to prove, so he's gonna be out of there. But JERMALL, CHARLO, on the other hand, I think that he will stick around. I don't know if he'll move back down. I don't see no real reason to move back down. I can kind of see them kind of making that fight. But like I say, the numbers got to be that. The numbers are there. Let's just be, come on, man. Let's be real. The numbers are there. The crowd is there. A lot of these fights we are anticipating. We got to have these fights as boxing fans. You know, the best fights put, you know, the most seats in the house, and it makes for the biggest pay-per-view. So a lot of these fights has to get made this year, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on a lot of fighters that haven't got a chance to face a big opponent. These fights will come to fruition. So let's stay tuned. Let's see what's going to happen. You guys let me know what you think about this topic, and leave, you know, what y'all think about David Lemieux and also Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. Let me know in the comments below. That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 34. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about this topic and all the other topics that I bring up each video. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shop.you.com. Follow me on all social media platforms that I'm currently on. Just want to thank you guys like I do each video. Without you guys, this channel wouldn't be what it is today. We're currently sitting at 128 subscribers. That's awesome. But other than that, man, make sure you hit all notification bells, subscribe button, and like button. All those things helps the growth of the channel. With the growth of the channel, we can make the conversation even bigger. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad.